Have you ever had that feeling that your house is clean, but it still looks messy? That even after sweeping, dusting, and washing the dishes, it seems like something is out of place? That the environment doesn't convey peace, doesn't welcome? The truth is that often the problem is not in the dirt, it's in the visual perception, and there is a way to change this in a few minutes without having to do heavy cleaning. These are small strategic adjustments which create the feeling of organization even when the routine is busy. In this video, I will show you 5 visual steps that make your home look much tidier than it is. It's the kind of thing that effortlessly transforms the environment. And the best part, you can apply everything with what you already have there. And there is one of the steps that is so simple, but the effect is so strong, it seems like magic. Stay with me until the end, because just by applying these tricks, your home will begin to feel light without you having to clean everything. Have you ever cleaned the house, put things away, mopped, and still have that feeling that the environment is heavy, that something is still disorganized, that the look doesn't convey rest, that it seems like there's clutter hidden in the air? So it is. This happens to a lot of people, and the reason may surprise you. The problem isn't a lack of cleanliness, it's visual excess. Sometimes we do everything right, but we forget to look at home through the eyes of those who enter no environment and not from those who live in it. And that look makes all the difference, because when the vision of the house is busy, the brain understands that the space is cluttered, even if it is clean. The good news is that you can change this without cleaning, without spending, and without turning the house inside out. There are simple visual steps that create an immediate feeling of organization. These are adjustments that, when applied with intention, they make the room seem lighter, tidier, more cared for, even if you only have 10 minutes to spare. In this video, I will show you 5 visual steps that transform the appearance of your home. Small actions that create a big effect, especially in the places you see most, live most, and most want to see in peace. And pay attention to 4th step, because it is the easiest to apply, and the one that deceives the eye the most, making the house look organized even when there is still a little mess behind it. So come with me. Because the house doesn't always need to be perfect to convey order. Sometimes you just need to appear at peace, and that changes everything. Tip 1. Align objects. The power of the symmetrical look. It may seem like a detail, but this is one of the most used tricks in stores, hotels, windows, and even in the houses that we see in magazines. Align what is off axis. Cushions, chairs, pictures, rugs, objects on the table, stacked books. All of this directly influences the way the environment is perceived. The explanation is simple. Our brain interprets symmetry as organization. When everything is crooked, misaligned, off-center, even if the environment is clean, the mind captures it as clutter. And that's why, sometimes, your house is clean, but you look and feel like something is wrong. So one of the first things I do when I want the house to look tidy, even if it's not perfect, is align everything that the eye captures at first glance. Pillows on the sofa, I straighten it and place it symmetrically. Coffee table, I organize objects into groups. Chairs, I step back and leave them aligned with the table. Mat, I stretch and center. This gesture can take less than 3 minutes, but the impact is enormous. You didn't have to wash, scrub, or deeply rearrange. Only reposition what is already there. And the environment, almost as if by magic, already conveys more order, more intention, more care. It's the kind of detail that changes the atmosphere and especially your feeling within that space. Because when the look is in harmony, the mind relaxes. And even though the rest of the house is still moving, this first impression holds the emotional back. So the next time you want the house to look more organized, look around with this filter. What is out of place? Misaligned, crooked, correct calmly. The house will respond immediately. Tip 2. Free surfaces. Fewer things in sight, more sense of order. If there's something that completely changes the feeling of organization, it's this. Clean surface conveys clarity. You can repair it. When the living room table is free, The kitchen counter is clear, or the bathroom counter is free of 1,000 items on display. The house feels lighter, even if the rest isn't perfect yet. The problem is that on a daily basis, we leave everything on surfaces: wallet, mail, remote control, cup, folded clothes, empty pots, keys. And when you look, it has become a collection of random things. And then it doesn't matter if the floor is clean, the eye sees mess. Therefore, one of the simplest and most efficient actions to make your home look more organized is free up visible surfaces as much as possible. If you have a counter full of stuff, keep what doesn't need to be there. If the living room table has become a storage room, remove everything, clean it, and leave only one beautiful or useful item. And if the kitchen is cluttered, store appliances that you don't use every day and let the counter breathe. This action, in addition to changing visual perception, brings mental relief. Because a clean surface conveys control, it conveys pause. It seems like the house breathes better, and so do you. Even if the closet inside is messy, what is in sight already creates a feeling of order. And do you know the best? You don't need to organize deeply, only keep what doesn't need to appear. Keep it in a basket, a closet, a drawer. Then you can resolve it there with more time. But for the look of the house, this adjustment is enough to create a lighter environment. So every time you want to give your house a quick boost, focus on this. Less stuff on surfaces, take on a more feeling of peace. Tip 3. Create points of visual intention. A beautiful corner changes everything. Sometimes you can't get the whole house in order, and that's okay. But there is a visual strategy that tricks the brain in a positive way and creates a feeling of organization. Create focal points of order. This means choosing a corner of the house and leaving it visibly tidy with intention. It could be a pretty tray with daily items on the kitchen counter. It could be a well-stretched bed with an extra pillow. It could be a nightstand with just a lamp and a well-positioned book. Or that little side table with a vase and a candle. What matters here is not the size of the space, but the effect it causes when you look at it. Our brain loves references, and when he finds a point of beauty, symmetry, and visual calm, he interprets the space as a more organized whole, even if there is clutter outside the field of vision. And the coolest thing? You may have a super busy day with no time to organize everything, but if you can take 2 minutes to set up this visual point, it already gives that feeling of everything is fine here. I usually keep an anchor corner in the house. It could be the living room, it could be the bed, it could be the bathroom counter. It's that place that I know will be beautiful, aligned, even when the rest isn't. And just that it already changes my mood. It already gives me peace. This type of organization is not about hiding clutter. It's about bringing balance to the look of the house, and to your mind too. So look around now. Which corner of your house can you transform into a point of visual intention? Start with him. You will be surprised at the effect it has. Tip 4. Let the house breathe. Natural light and fresh air transform everything. Sometimes what makes the house feel messy or heavy, it's not the dirt itself, but the closed, stuffy, dark environment. You may have tidied everything up, but if the curtains are still closed, the air is still, and the lighting is dim, the house doesn't feel light. Therefore, an essential step to make your home feel organized is open the windows. Let the light in. Let the air circulate. It may seem silly, but this is one of the most effective and immediate habits. The simple gesture of opening a window transforms the environment. Natural light illuminates spaces, softens shadows, highlights what is clean, and hides small imperfections. New air renews the energy of the house, and yours too. And there's more. An airy and bright house automatically looks cleaner. It's as if the environment said, everything is fine here. The look becomes lighter, more open, more alive. If you want to intensify this effect even further, you can spray a soft scent in the rooms, something with lavender, lemongrass, eucalyptus. This creates a sensory trigger that the brain immediately associates with organization and cleanliness. And you didn't always need to wipe or scrub anything. Just open the window, let the sun in, and bring lightness. This trick works especially well in the morning and late afternoon. And the best, it's free, instant, and transforms your home in minutes. If you feel that the house is heavy, even without clutter, try this. Open everything, let the room breathe, and observe how you also start to breathe better. Tip 5. Hide visible cables and electronics. Fewer wires, more order. It may seem like a detail, but this is one of the elements that most visually dirty an environment, even when it is clean. Scattered wires and cables, chargers coming out of the socket, extension cords lying on the floor, cables tangled behind the TV, wires in the corner of the sofa. All of this gives the feeling of disorganization. In hotels, in well-designed houses, in environments that give that impression of calm and order, what do they have in common? You almost never see wires, because the absence of these disconnected elements makes the look cleaner, more cohesive, lighter. And you don't need to renovate or hide everything inside the wall. Just bundle the cables, hide whatever you can behind furniture, use simple organizers or even a pretty box to keep the charges together. This already transforms the appearance of the room. Want an example? Instead of leaving your cell phone charger hanging next to the sofa, you can store it in a drawer or place it in a discreet container. A bedroom socket with a lot of wires can be covered with a rug or rearranged so that the cables face the back of the furniture. These actions are simple, but the impact is visual and immediate. When you eliminate excess cross lines in your vision, the house looks cleaner, more intentional, and mainly quieter to the eyes. Our brain reads loose threads as noise, and when you remove that visual noise, peace enters. So the next time you align a room, look at the corners for the cables, electronic pros out of place. If you can hide or organize it, you're already halfway to making your home look much more in order, even if it's still moving inside. Now you saw that no need to do heavy cleaning or organize the entire house to have a feeling of lightness in the environment. Sometimes all you need are simple visual adjustments. They trick the eye, calm the mind, and transform the energy of the home in just a few minutes. Align what is out of place, release the surfaces, create a visually intentional corner, open windows and let the air in, hide cables and electronics that pollute the environment. All this together creates the feeling of a more organized home, even if not everything is resolved inside. And that's what I want to remind you. The house doesn't have to be perfect to welcome you. She just needs to have calm points, in order, pause. And you can build this even in a rush, even with little time, even with a lot of things to do. When you change your look, you change the way you live your home. And this is the beginning of a greater transformation in your routine, in your relationship with the environment, and even in the way you feel every day. Now tell me, which of these 5 visual tips will you apply first in your home? Write to me in the comments, and if you have another strategy that works for you, share it too. We become stronger by exchanging. Oh, and if this video helped you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel here and activate the bell. Every week, I bring practical, real, accessible ideas to help you keep your home lighter and your life too. Because an orderly house starts with what you see, but the real effect happens in what you feel.